We are here today at the Engineering Design Show, and I have with me Scott Williams, who is a sales manager at NCAB Group UK. And he has kindly agreed to come on to the podcast stand and have a chat with me this morning. So my first question is for anyone who's unfamiliar with the NCAB brand, what do you guys do?
So NCAB are a global supplier of bare printed circuit boards. So we specialize in partnering with the right factories and sourcing boards for our customers. We're a global organization, around about $400 million US turnover. We only provide boards from approved suppliers. We vigorously vet those factories as well. So we look at criteria from financial stability. We look to make sure that they're hitting our sustainable goals, that they are looking at all the ESG criteria, that they're here for the long run and they're invested with us. So yeah, we do lots of audits. We got feet on the ground with a China factory management team of about 120 people. We've got a Taiwanese factory management team that look after our other Asian factories, and we've also got a European factory management team that look after our European and UK factory base.
What brings you to the show today? What are you hoping to achieve? I've seen your stand.
It's hard to miss on E23. It's lit up nice and bright. So for us, I've known EDS show for quite a few years. I've exhibited when I was at my old previous company, and it's one that I think that you get real quality leads from. I feel that the people that come here tend to have something they want to discuss. They're looking for someone to come and resolve an issue for them. They may have an engineering problem. They may have a design problem. They may just need a new supplier. But generally, I feel the quality of leads are better.
Okay.
So yeah, we're hoping to find that diamond in the rough, as they say.
Yep.
And yeah, look for that next customer that is going to engage with us, partner with us, understand where we can add value, where we can support their growth plans, and yeah, look to see what we can support them on.
Yeah, brilliant. Now, I know NCAB is investing a lot of time, money and effort in sustainability, reducing waste, improving reliability, etc. So how do you balance sort of the performance of your products, the costs of your products, but also how you minimize the environmental impacts?
I think there's this conception that when you use sustainability, it's always viewed as a cost adder.
Yeah.
But actually, if it's done correctly, it actually should save you money in the long term.
Okay.
So as you know, we have lots of expertise. We do lots of work around sustainability and looking at the full life cycle.
Yep.
Our group just held a life cycle assessment seminar in Sweden, where we engage with some end customers and really looking at what we can do from supporting with design for manufacture, but as well as that design for disassembly, which is now coming more as a pro term.
Yep. So
yeah, we're engaging with customers at the very front end and the back end to make sure that we can reduce waste. So for us, our design guidelines and tips, we have a sustainability meter on it. So depending on the changes you may make, can have a sustainable factor, both in terms of cost and the environment. So if you are reducing your panel size, if you are not only reducing the square meterage, you're reducing the cost, but by doing so, you're using less chemicals, you're using less water. Potentially, you're then reducing the weight.
Right.
Reduce the weight, reduce your freight costs. Transporting less weight, you're reducing your emissions.
Okay.
So we are currently sort of working with customers across the board on how we can utilize our skill set, what we're looking to make a greener industry, and work with them.
Okay. And you say that's built into your design tool effectively. Yeah. So as you make changes with the design, it's reflected.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And the one thing about NCAB is we can actually give our customers their estimated carbon emissions.
Okay.
So based on factory selection, based on freight option, someone very clever has worked out a nice formula in the background, and at a click of a button for us salespeople, we can then go in front of our customers and say, this is your CO2e, this is your intensity rating, and it's based on this percentage. So it gives you a breakdown of, it might come 80% from production and 20% from freight. of that, you are seeing that actually it is coming from 10% spend on air, but is actually giving you 40% of your emissions.
Right.
So it really does give a good USP and a good opportunity for us to sit and talk to customers that are really invested in sustainability.
Yeah.
It's a real USP for us.
So we're getting, just to sort of finish up on that, we're getting close to the point now where, that could be a column on a bill of materials where you could start to see the CO2 improvements.
I think it's a case of there's a lot of work that goes into it, depending on where the factory is located, depending on the primary power source that they're pulling, the freight options. So there's a lot that goes in behind it. But yeah, effectively, we can have those discussions with customers. And when they're discussing how can we make savings, how can we reduce our output, firstly, reduce from air to sea is a clear win.
Yeah.
Because actually your CO2e output is so dramatically reduced.
Yep.
But then choosing the right factory.
Yeah.
And that's where you have to be really careful, because if you're a real cost driven and that's your primary function, then necessarily the more sustainable option might not be the cheapest option.
Yeah.
But that's where you have to really discuss and understand what's the key criteria. What are they looking for? What are they really finding important? And if sustainability is at the top of the chain, you can say, well, here's your price from our A-rated sustainable factory. It uses over 75% renewable energy. This is the price from that factory. If you're looking for the best price, potentially we're looking at a C or a D-rated factory where most of it comes from fossil fuel.
Yeah.
And this will be your output.
Yeah.
And so it's giving customers the choice.
Yes.
And I think that's the main thing that we can offer, is we can give you the choice now of, do you want option A, the most sustainable option, or option B, where you are still driven on cost?
So for companies that are starting to measure this now, in terms of their sort of environmental reporting, the larger organizations, for sort of EcoVadis certification, that type of thing, you can now provide that level of information.
Yeah, absolutely. We partner with quite a lot of our, I would say, top tier customers that are really driven in sustainability. And they come to us because you can easily find your emissions output when you are getting a component off a shelf and it's being shipped in. But when you've got to break down the manufacturing process and the amount of water used and the chemical usage, and we choosing this type of surface finish rather than this finish, when you calculate all that up, that's the work that takes the time. So actually us being able to put a marker in the sand and to say, this is what we estimate, the intensity is showing this. It's something that we can now bring to the table that I don't think a lot of PCB suppliers have. Yeah,
it's brilliant. I'm going to have to come and try this tool. I'm going to have to get you to demonstrate it to me, and maybe it's a feature we can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
In a magazine. It'd be really cool to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. We can show you the global overview of the whole NCAB group, and then we can break it down per customer.
Brilliant.
So we can just redact any of the company names and we can show you the breakdown. Yeah, I'll be happy to do that.
Yeah, brilliant. A wider question now. Where do you think the growth in the manufacturing sector is going to be over the next, say, 12 to 24 months? What industries are sort of peaking at the moment?
I think if you are a UK-based manufacturer, then I think defence market is absolutely, I would say booming, but that's a bit of a wrong term. Absolutely flying at the moment. NCAB see sort of the outskirts of that, more of the aerospace and defence without being sole military. We are involved in that, but the real area that we think that we are going to experience growth is in the medtech sector.
Okay.
Our products tend to lend themselves very well for that. We're engineered and designed for reliability from the start. We bespoke PCB specification goes above IPC standards.
Okay.
So actually we are geared up to try and reduce any field failures down the road. And when you're looking at medical devices, you don't want failures down the road. So that's an area that we believe is going to be a key growth target for us over the next sort of 2 to 5 years.
And that includes sort of wearables and diagnostics as well as
non-invasive. We're working with companies that are looking at new non-invasive diabetes checkers. Wearables. It's an area where we believe we will start to see good growth.
Well, I'm all in favour of things that can keep you fit and healthy. So I look forward to wearing some NCAB gear one day.
Possibly. And you'll know from it's, as the longer you're in the industry, you walk around and you'll see brand logos like, our boards go into that. And we'd be at an airport and be like, oh, yeah, our boards go into that. And it's an industry that once you're in, you don't really leave.
Yeah, brilliant. So obviously learn more about you guys today here. You've got your stand, websites, sort of country specific, that sort of thing that that viewers can come and visit and see. The tool you were talking about, is that sort of public facing or is it?
No, so that's it's an internal.
Okay, so they can
internal
contact
thing.
you
So
to access that.
Yeah, for our customers, when we do our quarterly reviews and we have our business meetings, we will include that in our general figure, so we can give them their standard KPIs of sales targets, quote percentage, etc. But then we can now look at their sustainable rating as well.
Brilliant. Right. Well, I'm going to conclude with two more amusing questions, should we say? So the first is, who would you consider to be your biggest engineering hero and why?
The why might be hard to answer. I would say Da Vinci.
Yep.
I think for me, some of the early work that he was able to do, certainly in regards to sort of working out the mechanics of bridges and stuff, where you didn't have all the tools and stuff that you have today.
Yep.
Actually, some of those concepts still give the best strength and durability that you can get.
Yep.
So he really was econs of his time in that sense.
Well, I'm all in favour of Da Vinci. It does, when I see his drawings, it does send a bit of a shiver down my spine, thinking that someone could conceive those designs at that point in history without anyone else really to have built them.
No, absolutely.
So yeah, fascinating minds. That's cool. And if there was one invention that you wish you could have invented, what would it be?
I would say the internet would be a pretty good thing to have invented. Obviously, the way in which the world is developing, everyone's connected. There's so much trade and everything done on there now. I think it is such a fundamental part of life as we know it.
Yep.
So I think being the person that may have gone, you know what, I think this might actually take off.
Yes.
Would have been a pretty cool thing to like scale it back and be like the point of origin.
Yeah. Yeah, no, fascinating. I remember back in the day when hypertext was something that was available in Microsoft Word, I think it was, to jump between different documents. And now we can jump anywhere we want in the world.
Absolutely. So, I still remember the dial-up and having the tone and it taking 10 to 15 minutes just to get logged in. And now it's click of a button. And if your download speed isn't sort of 400 or 500, then you're on sort of the whole platform. It's absolutely crazy where technology is taking us.
Well, thank you very much for your time with us today, Scott.
No, thank you for inviting me.
Interesting and useful answers to those questions. So we'll get those out to our audience as soon as we can.
Excellent.
Have a great show and thank you very much.
Thanks, John.